What is up, everyone? We've got a lot to get through today, but before I jump into that, I want to give you a quick update why I'm wearing my Parramatta jersey again. My team won the preliminary final last night, which meant we have qualified for the grand final, the equivalent of our Super Bowl. Honestly amazing. Our first final in 13 years, and hopefully we can break the duck. We haven't won one since 1986, so it would be amazing to get it. Now, it was such a good game last night. Basically, we played North Queensland Cowboys away from home, so we played them up in North Queensland, and they were running downhill. Our team basically won the unwinnable game with some amazing defense. Super exciting, very, very excited. So please wish me and the team luck for this coming Sunday. I'll be there. I really, really hope we can win it because it's been a long, long time. I've never seen us win one in my lifetime. So it'd be amazing to try and get one and have that celebration in the bag. Now, regarding this week's news video, the first thing I want to touch on is give you a quick update regarding that whatnot missing Michael Jordan card. Now, as you guys would have seen in the last couple of videos, or not the last couple of videos, but the last few times I've spoken about it, you would have heard me say essentially whatnot sent one of the giveaway winners a Michael Jordan rookie card that they didn't win that card, right? So somebody was expecting a Michael Jordan rookie card and they didn't get it. Now, the last time we gave you an update, we heard that whatnot hadn't really done anything since. Now, the individual who had the missing card basically told me that they received their second giveaway pack, but they haven't received the Michael Jordan rookie card as yet, and they've received no communication as of Wednesday. Now, this is really disappointing to see. Like I've said in the past, it's a giveaway, so you should just be happy with what you get. But this Michael Jordan rookie card is a grail piece, right? And for an average collector that may never be able to afford one of those things, to be told you're getting one and then to have it taken away is very sad. So I really hope, whatnot can come around and do the job and get this card in the hands of this guy. Like, yeah, we should cut them some slack because, like I said, it was a giveaway and maybe they're not communicating, right? They're not communicating, but maybe they're doing things in the back end. So let's give them some benefit of the doubt until we actually see what happens. And I hope making videos like this can help in some way to put some pressure on them. I doubt it because I'm a tiny channel, but I hope it can put some pressure on them to try and get this card back in this guy's hand. Because like I said, it's a grail piece. To be a collector that may not be able to afford one of these things, right? I'll never be able to afford a Michael Jordan rookie card. I'd be very sad if I was told I was getting one and then didn't get it in the end. So let's see what happens. I'll keep you updated like I've explained in the past. Now, the next thing quickly is an update from Nat Turner. So you would have seen I did a video, I think it was on Tuesday, where I talked about what's considered card cleaning. Is it okay? Is it bad? Is edge repair bad? Good, blah, blah, blah. So please check out that video that I'll put up on screen now. Let me know your thoughts, but you would have seen the same day or the next day, I did a post where Nat Turner replied to one of my messages and I asked him his thoughts on this restoration. What's considered restoration? Because like I explained in my video, if you look on the screen now, you'll see that PSA consider ungradable cards as something that's having gone through restoration. Now I asked Nat, what is considered restoration? Is edge rolling considered restoration? Is corner repairs considered restoration, even if nothing is added to the card, if they're purely repairing it? His words were, yes. Okay, that's pretty clear. If they can spot it, they're not going to grade it. The problem is, I don't think they can spot it. And Neri Cards and Comics did a really cool video today where he was talking about why he thinks it's okay. And I can see where he's coming from because he makes comparisons to what happens from a comic book grading perspective, okay? And how comic book graders will press your books for you as a service. And they'll allow it, right? If they have evidence of it, they'll allow it. The issue comes when you're adding things to the book. So his logic was, okay, well, if you've got a card, how's it any different? You're not adding anything to the card, so why is it a bad thing? You're just getting it back into the state that it's expected to be in. The problem is, this is not comic books. PSA standards explain very clearly that this is considered restoration, i.e. it's an ungradable card. That's the problem, okay? The other problem is, and the bigger problem is, that these graders are not sophisticated enough to notice it. So what does it mean in the end? It means what I said last time, okay? If you're going to use a service, just please disclose it. Because you're going to disclose it. I think it's pretty obvious now that lots of collectors don't really care whether this is on the card or not. A lot of people seem to be very, very, very happy with it. Just if you're going to use it, disclose it, right? Because the graders can't spot it most of the time. So just disclose it. Yeah, it might get you in trouble with the grader for disclosing it. They might take your card out of the pop report. But if you're not disclosing it, there's a reason why you're not disclosing it. And that's because you're trying to pull the wool over someone's eyes, right? Be a good guy. If you haven't done, disclose it. End of story. That's where we should leave it, right? I'll give you updates if I hear anything else from Nat Turner, but that's sort of it where it stands right now. Now, very, very quickly, I want to touch on this chrome short print stuff with these recent baseball sets. Some rookie cards were missing from these boxes, I should say. Not overly surprised, to be honest. I'll put the things up on screen now. I'm not going to talk through this in detail because Sports Card Radio and a few others have already talked about it enough. I just want to highlight the fact that, again, I'm not surprised that these manufacturers are making these kinds of errors. Like, it's just a little bit ridiculous. What's ridiculous is that people are still shocked that this is happening, okay? They don't really care. They're just trying to get things out the door. They want people to buy the products. The only good thing is people have started to, return those boxes to their stores. People are starting to not buy things from the distributors. These boxes are now selling for a lot cheaper than what they were a few weeks ago once people realized that key rookies were not included in this set. Now, the thing to keep in mind with this, that's a really good thing, because maybe, that might put some pressure back on the likes of Topps Fanatics, maybe even Panini, to say, hang on, guys, we're not going to deal with this crap anymore. Maybe this is the start of that. I hope it is. But again, I'm not surprised to see it happen, because these guys are just printing things because they know people are going to buy it regardless. So it's really, really good to see that people have actually stopped and said, you know what, maybe I'm not going to buy this time. What are you guys doing? And that's the other really cool thing, right? You've started to get, I think this is the start of, some of these new collectors, like I've explained in the past on the channel, where you had so many people come into the hobby, right, and they were spending all this money, and they were just ignoring all these QC issues. They were ignoring all these issues with the graders because the hobby was so new, they had so much hype, they were just in love with this new thing they were being a part of, right? So they ignored all this crap. But now they've been in the game for a couple of years. They're not buying it anymore. It's not new to them anymore. They're actually starting to open their eyes. So hopefully this is the start of people pushing back against these companies and saying, guys, this is not good enough. You need to be doing better. So hopefully that can continue, and we'll see what happens next. Now, I want to give a quick good guy shout out this week. Now, normally I would call out an individual, but I just want to call out everybody in the hobby in general, right? Because we've had some really, really good discussion in the last week or so over this card trimming and card cleaning and card altering service, right? And we've had some good things with this Topps Chrome short print issues that I just explained. It's really good to see this dialogue happening with everyone in the hobby. So that's the good guy shout out for this week, right? It's just really good to see that people are starting to talk about this stuff openly and not just ignore it as, whatever you, Daniel, you're just a hater. Why are you talking about this crap? People are starting to question these things, stand up for themselves, communicate. That stuff is good for the hobby. We need people to continue that dialogue to make sure these kinds of mistakes and this kind of crap and shitty behavior doesn't continue. We expect better. We need better. And I think this is going to be the start of that sort of stuff happening. So keep an eye out for that. Now, just before we wrap up, I just want to highlight to you my video that came out from 2 days ago, I think it was, where I talked about the trading card market and how it's a bit of house of cards. If you haven't seen that already, please check it out and let me know your thoughts, because there's been a lot of good dialogue off the back of that down in the comments below of that video, and it's been really interesting to chat through people and get their perspective on things. I think most agree with me that it's not necessarily a house of cards and that the hobby's going to collapse, but there's just a few things happening within the hobby around these hype cards that nobody really cares about but only bought into out of FOMO that might mean we can see a bit further dip in the hobby in general in a few more months, right? I think what we've seen over the last 6 to 7 months in terms of a decline in prices is just the start. I think there's still a lot of people holding onto cards that have gone down significantly in value out of spite because they don't want to sell it and make that loss. I think there's a lot of people out there that share the same sentiment. And once they start to realize that they don't actually care about F1, they don't actually care about MetaZoo, they don't actually care about, WWE Prism cards, they don't actually care about some of these other things that have been released in recent times. When they realize that and they've spent so much money and they haven't actually fell in love with the sport or fell in love with the trading card game, I think we could see declines in prices really, really quickly. So please check that out. Let me know your thoughts down, like I said, in the comments of that video. And I'm really keen to chat with you all. It's a really interesting discussion point. I'm not being negative when I'm talking about this stuff. Like, I'm a collector at heart. I'm sure most of you are as well. I want new people in the hobby. I want new sets in the hobby. But I just think because we've got so many people now, this is something we need to talk about, right? Because this is something that could be a reality in terms of, where the hobby's heading. It's just discussion, right? I'm not hating or anything like that. We're just having a talk. So please check it out and let me know your thoughts. So that's sort of it for this week's video. Like I always say, please share your thoughts down in the comments below because I'm keen to chat through these. There's not much else that I think I should have talked about today. So if there was anything I missed, please let me know. There's actually something really interesting regarding my video on Tuesday that's going to come out regarding, an app or a service that is very, very dodgy. And in my opinion, it's looking like it's preying on young collectors and inexperienced collectors to take the money out of their hands in the promise that it's going to get them high grade cards. Now, keep an eye for that because it's very, very dodgy. And there's actually some influencers that have pretty big followings that are backing this thing that, in my opinion, is very, very shady. It's very, very disingenuous. So please keep an eye out for that because this is like peak crap within the hobby. What I'm going to talk through on Tuesday is peak crap. So keep an eye out for that. As always, thank you for watching and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.